How are y'all? How are y'all? See what I mean? It's so easy to get into the throw of the party. We thank you all for being here. I got to tell you, it's a real pleasure for me to be here. I've worked for the club several times in the past, as most of you know. And I have a real thing about civic clubs because I have a real thing about where I live. And I think civic clubs are so important. And I really have to tell you that Rotary is one of those clubs that gets out there and does stuff. And every time I go to speak to them, this particular club, they've got a list of, here's what we have coming up. And I hope everybody in the entire community appreciates what you do for the community. Because really, without it, you kind of wonder what community would be there. So I commend you all, and I think you ought to give yourselves a round of applause. You've done a great job. We have some honored guests here tonight, and I'd like to introduce them. We have Willard Miller, District Governor nominee, and his wife, Gray. Where are they? Right over here. We also have Michael Chapman, District Governor designate, and wife Jocelyn Chapman, who is president of the Rotary Club of Clearwater, I believe, right? Good to have them with us. I had a chance to chat with them for a while before. Bruce Silbert, Assistant District Governor. Bruce, where are you? There you go. Hope Peterson, past president, and guest Jim Longstreet, right down here. I commented to Jim, it's just a shame that Hope doesn't have much of a personality. And he promised me they're working on that, they're trying to take her out in public more, and I think that'll work. God bless you, Hope. One of the great stories, I gotta tell you. Her backstory is terrific. Steve Sheehy, our past president, and wife Beverly. There they are, over there.
And my grandchildren are even better, all right? Because their parents have done a better job than John Vine did. And my only friends are two. All my Rotarian friends and all my bowling friends. Don't need any more. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
You know, this year was dedicated to my dad, who taught me the true meaning of life and how to make a positive difference in those around me. His friends say he never met a stranger. And he could light up a room from the moment that he walked in. This speech was a little bit more difficult to write than the one I wrote for the installation. I'm not the same person that stood before you a year ago. I believe I'm a better person. It is difficult to express my appreciation for your support over this last year. As I was standing in front of you each week, I would look at certain members of the club that have always inspired me. Richard Bresky, thank you for your guidance. Jerry Krause for your leadership, always keeping me on task. Kevin Krause for always stepping up when I needed a volunteer. Phyllis Teller for your diligence. And Dave Sederi for giving me that little push I needed to finish this year. I am truly grateful to all of our members, present and past. Tissue, please. your kind words and encouragement this year made it an extraordinary year for me. As promised in my speech last year, I was not perfect. However, we were able to laugh our way through it. I would like to thank my family, my husband Larry, my sister, my mom. You always pushed me to be a little bit better. This is an extraordinary club, and I am proud to be part of something that impacts our community in such a positive way. Thank you.
Probably won't be as emotional speaking as Teresa, but I'll try. Right now, the thing is to give honest love to the president. And I think really the only way we can, or I can truly honor Teresa is to continue doing a great job that she's done with the club. We've worked closely especially the last month or so, or a little while, and called each other a couple of times on the phone. And really I've got to know Teresa, and she really has brought, as you can see, kindness and softness to a job that isn't always easy. And it truly is, as Kenny has mentioned, it's a woman's trait to bring this kindness and softness to otherwise a different club. And I don't know if Rotary, I haven't been a member for a long time, but I don't know if Rotary would exist without the work that the women do in the club right now. Not the way it does today, anyways. In the program, some of the sayings I try to live by or think about in my daily routine, and I do have to say one applies to Teresa, hands down. As you know, a man by the company he keeps, and I'm truly, truly blessed that I can keep Teresa in my company. I have the pin will come with Mike Chapman, Will Miller, but I would like to, I was going to get flowers and I didn't, but I did want to give Teresa a spa day that I thought she might get a massage, and I was thinking, you know, while she's lying on the table getting a massage, maybe she'll be thinking of all our faces. Yeah, right. Thank you, Teresa. I hope to have a great year as you have had, and I'm sure I can speak for the whole club. We thank you very, very much. Mike Chapman now, who's going to do some Paul Harris presentations.
And the total of those two, $13,025. The $11,520 is what your club has given to the annual fund of the Rotary Foundation this year. I want to personally thank you for that, because that's the money that I get to help decide gets spent when I'm governor of this district 3 years from now. So thank you very, very much for that. The $1,500 is money that went to the permanent fund, which is money that goes largely to fund a part of the Rotary Foundation called the World Fund, which basically leverages up service projects so we can spend more money to do good in the world, which is the mission statement of the Rotary Foundation. All that said, there are two things that I absolutely love to do at Rotary meetings. The first is to induct new Rotarians. There aren't any to do that tonight with. However, I'm sure that you are going to continue to grow as you've grown during Teresa's year as president, and I'm very proud to be a friend of the Rotary Club, Pinellas Park. The second is to make new Paul Harris Fellows and to recognize folks who have given more than what it takes to become a Paul Harris Fellow. As many of you know, well, first, how many of you in this room are already Paul Harris Fellows? Just raise your hand. Yeah, pretty big population here. So thank you for your contribution. And those of you who are Paul Harris Fellows know that the Paul Harris Fellowship is named after the founder of Rotary International, Paul Harris, and it's in recognition of a contribution made either by yourself or in your name by someone who cares an awfully lot about you and respects you of $1,000 U.S. currency. We are here tonight to recognize several folks who are becoming Paul Harris Fellows. And let's see here. It's Jared. Jared. I get really the members of the Krause dynasty confuse me because there's so many of you here, and I'm just glad that this club is exactly Krause. So Jerry, will you help me present some Paul Harris fellowships? You know, folks have been trying to get Joan to come up here. What do you say, folks? Should Joan come up? Okay, on behalf of the following three folks, Jerry is going to accept these presentations of Paul Harris Fellowships. David, Aaron, and Karen Roach.
Roach.
Am I saying the word wrong?
That's my Italian son-in-law and my two grandchildren.
David and Karen. Okay. These are their certificates, sir, and these are their Paul Harris Fellow pins. They're safely ensconced in those boxes so that they can't get lost in my jewelry trail. So, congratulations to them. And at risk of pronouncing this name entirely incorrectly,
I would be called Dr. Nanda, but he would not do that.
okay, or you could say it.
Jayante Patel.
Terrific. Jayante, would you please come forward? We're making you a Paul Harris Fellow tonight.
That's Christine's son. Christine's husband.
Now, we have one more here, I think. Now, so he's not here tonight?
No.
Shall you present this perhaps at your next Rotary Club meeting, or would you like to take it
No,
home?
we take it home.
All right.
We're going to dinner tomorrow.
Here's the rest of the letters. And there's his certificate. Okay? And then, next, is she here?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Kevin, come on up and help. Would Janet Waddell please come forward?
I mean, I think it'd be an awful nice thing for Janet Waddell to get this award.
Janet, congratulations. Thank you very much for your hard work and the devotion that you have to the Rotary Foundation. This is your certificate, and we're going to ask Jerry or Kevin to pin the pin on you. And thank goodness there's almost a lapel on your jacket. How long have you been Rotarian?
3 days.
3 days.
However, thanks to Jerry and Kevin, I have been helping on the sidelines for almost 10 years.
Well, you know, it doesn't matter if it's 3 hours, 3 days, or 3 years. You're a Rotarian at heart, and we really, really thank you for your service. Congratulations. Tom Stewart Jr., please come forward. And the only reason I say that is because this certificate reads Tom Stewart Sr. He's making his dad a Paul Harris Fellow. So if you don't let him finish and I want you to present it to him at the appropriate time, with the appropriate congratulations from Rotary International. The final presentation that I have to make tonight, before I introduce your inducting officer, is to John Donahue. You know, I'm almost done. Is John here? John, stay right where you are. Teresa's going to come to you. What Teresa is ferrying back to you is a Paul Harris pen with 1 ruby on it, which makes him a Paul Harris Fellow plus 6, which represents a $7,000 cumulative donation. Thank you very much, John, and congratulations. Just make a comment or two about your outgoing president. Your incoming president has really big shoes to fill. Teresa has led this club with poise, with grace, with drive, with enthusiasm. I have personally had the privilege of being employed by the same firm as Teresa for several years, as has my lovely wife, Jocelyn. And I can tell you that anyone who follows Teresa in the path of being president has big shoes to fill. So Teresa, thank you for your hard work, your service, your dedication, and your friendship. It is now my privilege and pleasure to introduce one of my finest drinking, district leaders. I had the pleasure of serving as assistant governor along with your assistant governor Bruce and with Will Miller when he was the assistant governor for the clubs in Area 1, whom he affectionately calls the St. Pete Six. Will was born and raised in Hampton, Virginia, and you'll be able to note that when he says the word O-U-T, you'll understand what I mean. He attended Virginia Tech and earned his graduate degree at the University of, or William and Mary College, I believe is what we call it. William and Mary College. He's a 26-year veteran of the United States Navy. He served 2 years in Vietnam and is a retired commander. He has been my friend for many years. He served as I said, the Area 1 Assistant Governor from 2010 through 2013. And last year, actually a year before last, he was selected to be our district governor in the year 2015-16. So the lady with the iPad in the back, that's your governor. Without any further ado, please rise and welcome our district governor nominee, Will Miller.
Thank you very much, Mike. That's kind of incredible. Well, it's really great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this this very important occasion, along with my wife and Rotary partner, Gray. It's great to be here. Or as my younger brother tells me, Will, at your age, it's great to be anywhere. I note that you are 154% of your Rotary annual fund goal. And that's just one of the many great things that this club has done. I looked over this table of your history and I said, wow, these people really know how to do some things. And they've been doing it right for 60 years. That is very impressive. You are asking your incoming president to lead you and to devote somewhere between 10 and 15 times the amount to Rotary that you individually may spend. That's a big responsibility. But I know that you will support him because you have many really great folks among you, not the least of which is Jerry Wendland over here, who served on one of the same Navy ships as I did. and Dick Bresky, and many, many others. At this point, I'd like David Sideri to come forward. And his lovely wife, who is going to pin him, probably not for the first time. It's a big honor to lead a club that's been around for 60 years, but I know that you're going to stand behind David. Okay, all right, David. You have been nominated and elected by the members of the Rotary Club of Pinellas Park as their president for the Rotary year 2014-2015. Your election shows your club's confidence in you and your leadership abilities. They believe that you possess those qualities of mind and spirit that enable you to foster the ideals of Rotary both in your business and your personal life. With this in mind, and I now ask you to repeat after me your oath of office. I, state your name, do solemnly pledge that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the Rotary Club of Pinellas Park.
President of the Rotary Club of Pinellas Park.
And that I will, to the best of my ability,
And that I will, to the best of my ability,
support the District Governor,
support the District Governor,
the Rotary Foundation and Rotary International,
the Rotary Foundation and Rotary International,
and the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
and the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
Congratulations, David. David has said you may just dispense with the formalities and call him fearless leader. Okay? David, I'd like now all of your officers and directors to come forward. And that would be, Tammy, Secretary, Janet Waddell, Yvonne Fay is treasurer. Directors Kevin Krause, Joe Manerick, and Jerry Wendell. If you would join us up here, please.